Okay, hello, good evening. Yes, I'm Pamela from the Civic Center for Civic Education in Berlin. We are, I don't know if everyone knows us, so we are part of, yeah, okay. Okay, and one of our projects we are many people in Berlin, Gera and Bonn, and one of the projects is the Wahl-O-Mat. We have a lot of other projects like books, perhaps you saw it already in school, but also from the website bbb.de. And the Wahl-O-Mat. The Wahl-O-Mat is a very old toy in the internet, over 20 years old, and we in the reduction editor team, we were also surprised that it's now still there, because in the beginning we thought we only make it one time for the federal election in 2002, and then it was a big success, and then after that we did it all the elections. So I will show you a little bit the background of the tool, so the goals, how it works, how it is created, a little bit about the users and the effects we hope we have, and the media partners and our universe of the Wahl-O-Mat. In the beginning, in 2002, we invented the tool. It's not our invention, it's the invention of the Dutch. And we have a joint venture or a cooperation with the Dutch team. It's Stemwijzer in the Netherlands. And so it was the idea that for young voters, they often not go to vote. And for them, we wanted to have a special tool in the internet, 20 years ago, the new media. And we want to ask the peer group themselves what can help that you will go to vote, and what will help to interest you for the election. So we created the Wahl-O-Mat, and we wanted to show the differences between the parties, because a lot of people thought, I don't know the differences, they all seem the same. And we wanted to draw attention to the election topics and arouse interest in continuing to deal with politics, so that people want to have more information, and at least, of course, to encourage them to go to vote. So it's very simple as possible. So you will be asked to 38 statements with agree, neutral, not agree, or you can skip a statement. So we have 38 statements from all over the topics that can be for the next election. After answering yourself, and you don't know how the parties are answered, so it's you at the time to ask yourself, what do I think about this topic? And then at the end, after 38 statements, you have to weight your topics. You can do it. You don't have to do it. You can do it, and you ask yourself, okay, what is really important for me? Which topic of these elections are important for me? Then you can weight it in the double way. And the next step, because at least we are civic education, I come from civic education, we want to show all the parties which are possible, that can be elected in this on the party list, which can be elected for this election. For the federal election this time, there were 29 parties on the list. So we present them at a glance, and then the people can have more information about this, so they can click on the party logos, and then they saw a little bit more information about the parties to inform themselves. Above there are the parties from in the parliament, and further on you see all the other little parties. And to have more information, I think for the little parties, that is for many people very interesting to learn a little bit more about them, because often you don't see it very everywhere in the discussion in the media otherwise. At the end of the game, it's a Wahl-O-Mat result. So this is a match of your own position with the position of all the parties. So you see to which party you are the nearest in your position, only for the 38 statements. But this is the result. You get the result as a ranking, and then you see again a little teaser about the party, what is the party, and you can click on the party logo to learn a little bit more about your winner party or the next ones. After the result, we invented, it is 4 years ago, we want to invent a little bit more gamification, I don't know, but to look behind or to analyze your own result, that you can click after result a little bit more to know why these parties are on my list. So with the tuning, you see it above there here, you see several possibility features we have. So with tuning, you can change a little bit your own weight here, or you can change your position here. And then you see really in lifetime, also live, you see that this ranking that you get is changing perhaps. So this is really interesting for us, that people don't see, this is a Wahl-O-Mat result, I have to vote this party. No, please look behind the scene and try it out. Try it out what happens when you change your mind, when you change your weighting, when you change all the things you perhaps have doubt a little bit. So then you see, the ranking will be changing. And the second one is the party match a little bit. So then you can choose 3 parties, not more, because on mobile phone you won't see all the 29, so you have to choose for 3 of them, then you can change all the time. And then you see here, okay, which of the parties have the same opinion to which of the statements. And you see, in this way, to this opinion they have the same yes, the same no, or they had different opinions. And you see also, you can click on it, this is my opinion. That was also my opinion. And then you can look for the statements. If you have the same opinion, which party have the same, perhaps, more or less, which are very near, which parties are very far away from each other. And the other side, we want to say the parties can give the position, but also some explanation why they are voting in favor or against of the statements. So you can look at your favorite statement, perhaps, and you see, okay, this is my very favorite statement. For this statement, I will go to vote. And that now I can see all the position of all the parties, which parties are really in favor for it, and then underneath not and different. But you see, can also click on it and see what is the argumentation of the party, why they are in favor of it, what is the motivation of the party. And you see at a glance which is in favor and which party is not. And at least you can click on one party and you see a little manifesto of the party, and you see only the position and the explanation of one of the parties, and then you can look for it and can compare it. So, as I told in the beginning, we created the Wahl-O-Mat on the base of the manifestos of all parties which are in the game. And it was in this time because it was suddenly a new voting. And we just thought, okay, we will start our organization a little bit this time, a little bit with more months to work. And then in November we changed all things and we started directly. And so it was the weekend just before Christmas we started. And we invite young voters and experts. So around 40 people, they invited. The experts, they are different experts, scientists for politics and journalists. And we invite a lot of people having special topics on special federal political topics. And we invited 20 to 25 young voters from all of Germany. And we made a nationwide call for application. So it was on social media everywhere, and we get over 780 people asking us to work with that for a weekend just before Christmas, without paying, and only to be with us in the manifestos and to create the statements. So there are young people because we want to have this exchange between young people and experts to look on the manifestos and to look what is often mentioned in the manifestos. And then we want to show, okay, what is different? What is the different opinion of the parties in the manifesto? So everyone wants to have peace, more or less. But what is perhaps the opinion about speed limit on highways? So speed limit on highways often mentioned in the manifestos, but there are different ways to solve the problem. So the speed limit on highway could be a problem, so could be a statement. So we look in the manifesto together and then we try to reach the best form of formulation. In this formulation and which of the statements we will choose, we have 3 days and we make it really an exchange between experts and young voters. Because we did it all before only with experts and then the statements were very complicated and no one understood them. So it is really nice to have this exchange on the same level. We create at the weekend 80 statements at least. So 80 statements are created and look a little bit like this with a lot of form of methods and everything. And really hard work, over 12 hours a day on 3 days, but people have still fun to make it with us. And then the statements will make, of course, a check-up, fact-checking, and we look after it if everything is well done. And then we sent it, it was the 1st or the 2nd of January, we sent the 80 statements to all parties. At that time it was over 60 parties still running to go to the elections at that time. And they have the possibility as the users to say, I agree, neutral, I'm not agreeing. And they have the possibility to explain it, their motivation in 500 characters. But it's very important that the parties answer the statements and also make the explanations. They're not us, we make no interpretation, this is really the parties doing it. They have at least 2 weeks to make it. This time it was a little bit shorter. Then we check it. We don't check it if it's really written in the manifesto because our statements are often not really in the same way in the manifesto. So the parties have to answer it and we only check if the position yes has the same meaning as the explanation or the motivation of the statement. And when there is a gap, then we ask again and say, okay, you say yes, but in the explanation you say at least no, so please check it again. At least then we have a second workshop with all together, the whole editor team, and then we check, okay, which of the statements are really important for this election, which is from every topic which the federal future government will decide on. So not really European politics, not regional politics, it's really the federal politics that is important for the Bundestag. And then we look for those statements which are really able to distinguish with all possible party pairs. So that will show, the Wahl-O-Mat result will show at the end real differences between the parties. So and then 4 weeks, and this time only 2.5 weeks, we go online with Wahl-O-Mat.de. And we have often over 50 media partners. This is very important for us, that we have no time, we have no money for marketing or advertisement. So media partners, they are partners, corporation partners, so that you will see it. I think you saw it everywhere in the media. So this is really a good way for us to spread it to all target groups. And for this reason, really to show everyone, to every reader and user in the TV, in the radio, and the newspapers about it. We have also something like a Wahl-O-Mat universe. So of course we are mobile, we have an app, we have school programs and materials for teachers to use it in school. We make a lot of events there. We have a sticker, Wahl-O-Mat. This is sometimes like an analog tool that people can play it in schools or in supermarket, in shopping malls, and something like this. And of course, the social media, and then to go for it, to explain a little bit the statement, to look behind the scenes. About the users. So the user numbers are really high. In the last time, 2.5 weeks, we have over 26 million users for this federal election. In total, we did it since 2002. And always the last, oh no, that was not 2014, it was 2024, that was 15 million users, so really high numbers. At least we are very old, but now we are known for this reason. We are a little bit the part of this pre-election event, meanwhile. So most of the users, or not anymore, most of the users are young. You see here only 20% are under 29 years old. So the Wahl-O-Mat getting older, and also our users. But we reach a lot of people, also the silver surface. We reach for the big election nearly 20% people that are not interested in politics. This is really our main target, at least. The people spend a really long time in the internet with us, nearly 10 minutes. It's really a long time for an internet tool. And 50% of the users clicking on more information on our website, bpb.de, or also on these little profiles for parties, or more information from the parties, or more information about the elections, or of the topics of the elections. But these are at least the only numbers we have. We select, we get no other information. We have no data about our users. So we only collect the using numbers, anything else. So because we are the part of the state, and we decided since the beginning that we don't collect any data about our users. But we want to know what they are doing with the tool, and if we are right. So at least we asked the University of Düsseldorf to make eine Umfrage. Survey, thank you. A survey after Wahl-O-Mat, and then to ask what the people are doing with the Wahl-O-Mat. So this is not, for this reason, you see a little bit the effects. The first number is my favorite, the people having fun. And that I like, because it's really, I'm personally, after this 25 statements, say, ooh, it's really long play, and then I have to ask more than 30 statements again. And the people recognize the differences between the parties. This is one of the goals, that the people don't want to go to the vote because they don't see the differences, but they will see it. Half of the people read the explanation of the parties, and I think this is a number going greater or bigger and bigger, that the people will, after playing Wahl-O-Mat, talk about the Wahl-O-Mat. And this is, at least for the civic education, one of the main goals, meanwhile, that the people talking about Wahl-O-Mat, perhaps they are surprised, perhaps they don't like the statements, but they talk about politics. So they talk about the results, the party answers, the election, the common election. So this is one thing that we really see, not anymore for letters or emails, more in the social media debates, that the people are talking about this. And they will at least go to vote, and this is for us, for our work, very interesting, because the people say yes. The most of the people play the Wahl-O-Mat, and they know just before what they are voting for. They only want to check their vote. And from these people, there's 94% said yes, the Wahl-O-Mat result was the same or nearly the same what I was thinking before. So that is very important for our work, to check if our statements were right or not. So as I told, this is the or it was this time 50 media partners. This is very important for us, that we really want to reach a lot of different people, not only in the intellectuals and young people, different people, that is our goal, to reach really everyone. And at least that was all for beginning. Do we have